I had had the business for less than a year, I think only like 8, 9 months. And I had just come off a very unexpected boost in the business. I always say, like, not through anything I had really done, other than that I got lucky in the sense that it was right after the GDPR happened. And so it just brought legal to a lot of consciousness and awareness in people, being like, oh, shoot, we really do have to get legal in place for people, and we need to pay attention, have these policies. So my business had exploded, but I didn't have a sustainable system for growth in place. So, beyond just having a lot of new traffic and new faces and like great connections coming through because of this new law, which I knew was going to fizzle out, I didn't have any strategy as to like how to maintain it. And I also felt a bit stuck. I guess like in my voice, one thing I've always talked about, and I talk with Sophie about a lot, is that I don't really identify with like the problems of my ideal client. I identify a lot with my ideal client and her other problems, just not legal, because there's not been a point in my life where like I've gone through a rough legal period, or I didn't understand it, or something like that. So ever since I've owned my own business, I've been a lawyer and I knew what to do. So it's been very helpful to come up with like specific strategies and specific content plans and ways of getting feedback from my audience to really step into speaking in their voice, and actually creating solutions to their problems. And I think one thing that was really eye-opening in working with you right off the bat was that I always attributed that to like market forces. I was like, there's something in the market that's wrong. But in stepping back more and seeing like, oh, I kind of have this pattern of the way I approach business, like go crazy and like get everything done now, and I'm going to post all this content, do all the things, and be everywhere. And then I'm so burnt out from that I go dark. And when I go dark, the business goes a little dark. So it was really helpful just to even become aware of that pattern. Two things that were so helpful to me were like, one, just getting really clear on like what we actually need to be doing in terms of a marketing strategy. That was so helpful because I think before I spent all this time thinking it was like this mystical, like there was something I didn't know about that I was supposed to be doing. And I spent a lot of time just kind of like spinning my wheels and trying this and trying that. And once it was like, no, it's simple. Like you need to write content consistently in this format of this type and just like keep doing it and showing up. I was like, oh, that's it. Okay, I can do that. But it actually cuts out a lot of that time that you were spending burning yourself out. Like I was burning myself out because I was spending time doing a lot of things that didn't need to be done. So getting clear on like what actually needed to be done, what content needed to be written. And then more recently working with you, not to jump ahead, but like in really realizing that my job, like I had this epiphany in working with you where it was like, for me, my business is, I hate calling it passive because it takes a lot of work, but like the product is passive, like it's done already. So literally every day when I wake up, my role is to be a marketer and to get that message out there to the people who need it most. And like, that's it. And once I just simplified that, sometimes that can be done in an hour or two a day because I do my stories, I write my content, I send my email, and it's like, I always call it marination. I'm like, okay, that needs to marinate for a little bit now, and I need to let that go out to the world. Learning from someone like Sophie is that you come up with these tools to A, notice the patterns and start to take some responsibility for like, this is what's happening. But then B, also have the systems in place where you're like, okay, now I know like what I need to do and what I should be looking for to get back here. So earlier this year, I created a bundle. So that's what I was referring to earlier, the ultimate bundle. So that now I'm focusing on this accessibility piece, but also wrapping in this legal knowledge, that this education really that you need to know to operate a legally legit business online, so you can like get paid and learn how to use your contracts and protect your content that Sophie is helping you learn how to strategically write. So I'm really excited about the ultimate bundle now, and it has definitely done just that, because especially once Sophie and I implemented the 4 payment plan, because now I didn't have a payment plan option before, and now that really gives people the opportunity to like approach legal in a much gentler way, because you can pay over 4 months, but get all the things that you need all at once and start implementing this, because it's most important to me that there was no rhyme or reason. A lot of my clients were buying some things and then saving up and not buying again for months. But I'm like, but that whole time you needed that stuff to protect yourself. So it's cool now that with the ultimate bundle, people can get all of these contracts and policies that they need and just protect themselves from the get-go.